You need to show numbers. You need to show how you have created impact. We will definitely see more indulgence of AI into recruiting. I know that in future employers would use AI to proper research. People should use ChatGPT. So this is a very very interesting point. Beauty lies in the eyes of the beholder.
Welcome back to this podcast. And this is a new episode where we explore the people who are shaping the future of work and talent. I have got somebody special from the Big Four. Saurav Suman, a seasoned talent acquisition leader with rich experience in international recruitments, talent strategy, and HR operations across diverse markets. In this episode, we will talk about a lot many things from him. We learn a lot many things from him. And what more, he's going to help us to learn about evolution of talent acquisition in this new change era. So, welcome, Saurav, to our podcast today.
Thank you very much, Puneet, for having me on your show. I'm very, very thankful to you for sending me an invite. You have already introduced me. I'm looking forward to having this conversation, and I hope my experience helps your viewers to get some viewpoint and
Um,
insights on recruiting, talent, landscape, and then how actually recruiting happens all across the globe. I have in fact experienced not only in India, APAC, but I've done also like North America, Latin America, pretty much across the globe. I have experience doing
wow.
recruiting. Thank you very much.
I'll straight away deep dive into the questions, and we know we need to get a lot from you. So, you have seen the international landscape. My question to you would be, what's the biggest shift that you have witnessed in how organization approach talent after the pandemic and after AI coming into existence?
This is a very, very relevant question in today's world. After pandemic, certainly things have changed quite a lot. There has been a paradigm shift. First of all, related to how we procure talent, that has definitely seen some changes. At present, where I'm working, they are looking to invest into AI tools which can help automate some of the basic things, like initial 30% of the process. That is screening resumes, interview scheduling, role matching. There are also other aspects which will sooner or later come into play. But for now, these are the things which companies are looking to automate. So, first is sourcing. I think, and my perspective is, it will also come into play in supporting decision making, like where predictive analytics can come into play. And we would be able to judge by the data which AI or a predictive analytics tool would give us. And we would be able to understand how likely a candidate is to join or not join, depending on the patterns he is showing on responsiveness, the email replies. So that is one aspect. There can be others as well. So this was how AI will change the procurement process in recruiting, procurement as well as the operational aspect of recruiting.
Okay.
Also, talking about 4 or 5 years ago, normally interviews were scheduled like face to face. Some interviews used to be like on video, on Teams call, virtually. But now there is a cultural shift. Candidates do not want to come for face to face interview. Companies are also modifying their processes to include online interview systems in place. And I've also got to know that there are some people, some what do I say, fringe elements are here as well, who try to use deep fakes or use AI tools to bluff the interviewer. Employers as well as the AI companies who are making these tools or tech products are trying to include systems by which proctoring can be done. I have seen some videos, maybe you might have also seen, where someone else is speaking and the person who is the interviewee, they are just lip syncing with the sound. Plus, also, you would be able to find if the person is trying to read from the screen. So, such things are getting incorporated in the AI tools. I still think, there is a long way to go. But with the speed how AI is evolving, I think it is not so far. Maybe in 1 or 2 years, we will see more. advanced products which can do all these.
So I think you've given us a good global landscape how it looks like as of now. But I'll come back to the main pain areas which are there. So AI is transforming recruitment, as you said. So in your view, what would be the fundamental change in the next few months or few years that you see?
I'll answer that from both perspectives, for candidates as well as for employers. So, for employers, first of all, I'd like to say they should not run behind adopting any technology for that matter, just because of FOMO, fear of missing out. Every organization is getting into the bandwagon,
Yeah.
so we also should think about getting into something. And I think some organizations are pretty much doing that. So, I would like to just give a caution statement to employers that do proper research. First of all, understand your processes are different across organization. An organization which is among one of the big fours to someone who is a startup to an organization who is like an SME or into IT sector, recruitment would have various different stages depending on which market they operate on, which type of industry they are in. So first they should research, and as of now, some of the products which I have seen, they have pretty much like a standard platform where it is already set standard that you have to go through process A, B, C, D, or you can choose A or B. So I think employers must definitely think and analyze their process first and then only choose the right product for them. Otherwise, it will be a huge cost pressure for them. Plus, also, it won't give them the desired result. And in turn, actually, it will make recruiting difficult. And from candidate point of view, they need to understand that uh, getting hands on AI is one thing, but using it wisely and effectively is another. From candidates point of view, if I want to just make a good CV or understand the job role properly or explain my responsibilities properly, AI can be of help.
AI is transforming the recruitment space and the other things. But in your view, how the role, how the complete HR paraphernalia is evolving, is changing in the next few months or few years?
So actually, it is impacting from the whole HR gamut of side. Things are changing because of AI's introduction. Since I'm from recruiting, and I also observe how how it has impacted candidates as well into recruiting and getting jobs. Talking about HR and hiring perspective, I have seen that every company wants to get onto some AI tool because of fear of missing out. Everyone is doing so, and that's why everyone wants to
Yeah.
get their hands onto something. But I would like to say, give a caution statement to employers because I have observed employers getting onto some tool which most probably has like a set standard platform where you can screen candidates, you can do role matching, you can do some of the repetitive tasks, but sometimes they do not align with the processes of your internal system. That eventually takes more time for the whole organization to assimilate and then take in sync with the existing process.
So the value based matching is very important when you're looking at
Right.
AI tool.
Value
Yeah.
based, and also they should do a on ground check of what is feasible and what is not. Maybe an organization is not ready to actually implement an AI tool, depending on what is their growth trajectory, where they are standing. Are they a mature organization? Are they at the peak of their performance? Are they at very initial stage? So they should assess these things. Then only they should decide about investing onto any AI tool. I know that in future employers would use AI to map their existing talent, upskill them,
Wow.
and match them to the open roles. So now the reliance on internal talent will also increase because I'm telling frankly, the organizations where I've been from there, I've observed that though it is always said that internal talent is given preference, but hiring managers do not budge any little. They will say that if someone is not matching the criteria 100%, they are not going to take them. So, on real time basis, or maybe again doing a predictive analytics on what types of project the organization is expecting to see in future, they can they can prepare their talent in advance, so that they can internally do mobility of this talent that will eventually be good for employee experience and their growth opportunities. And if I talk about candidates' perspective, people should use ChatGPT, or I mean any other tool of
Any
anyone's
LLM for that
preference,
matter.
of
Yeah.
for any of their preferred tool,
Yeah.
to actually build a story behind. I mean, if they are not able to do it on their own, because nowadays hiring managers or HR, if they say only your job responsibility, like I have done this, I have done that, I have managed, I have led, all that does not matter, and fancy titles also don't count. You need to show numbers, you need to show how you have created impact, build that narration of how you have brought impact. Because I know in this tech industry, not everyone is so outgoing or very good in, what
Yes.
do I say, expressing yourself. So what are those things which you should say in an interview which would make maximum impact? So, from that perspective, you can help or leverage AI tools to prepare for interviews. So, that is what I can see that employers as well as candidates should look into in coming time to explore more from AI.
So what is the most common misconception there that you hear from the HR leaders, maybe in India or abroad? So what is that you're hearing about AI and the other technological changes that are happening?
Whenever there is involvement of a machine, people think that it is binary or dichotomic in decision making, either yes or no, it is black and white.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
this came to my mind while we were actually trying to analyze one of the tools which we bought for our organization. Any of these AI tools have a propensity to be biased, because the designer of the program or the designer of the tool, he is preparing the product from his lenses. Just because you have got an AI does not mean that you are being fair in your recruiting practices. It can have some biases or preconceived way of assessing talent, because the person who has designed the program, designed the tool, would be having a preconceived notion of how things work. So I think that is a myth.
AI is going to replace me, especially the recruiters. It's going to eat my job. So is it actually happening, or is it just a hype?
Yes, because of introduction of AI, definitely there is a little bit of job cut. But, as I said earlier as well, this is the consolidation phase.
Yes.
Slowly a time will come when, again the jobs would be open. But now this would be open for people, for recruiters who are not only having that skill of doing only transactional job. If you see the complete recruiting life cycle, only the first 30% or 40% of the process is repetitive, which can be automated. Otherwise, influencing the hiring manager decision making, being a trusted advisor to the hiring manager, or decision making in terms of should I drop, should I not drop the candidate, depending on how the candidate is responding. I think AI has yet not given us a solution to that, but recruiter's job is not going anywhere. It will reshape how it looks, but it will not vanish. It will still be there.
So how do organizations balance, AI's efficiency with the essential human elements? What do you think? What should organizations do?
The best possible way of actually running this would be a hybrid model, where,
Hmm.
as I said, I'll also take points from my previous answers because that add up to this one.
Yeah.
The initial 30-40% of the complete process, where role matching is done, or sometimes even designing of the JD, or posting the jobs, scheduling interviews. This can be done by AI, and at some given gate points, there must be some human intervention just to check if things are going fine. But after this, negotiating the offer, influencing the hiring manager, as I said, these part of process can be done best by a human. So, a hybrid model where the initial 30-40% of repetitive tasks is done by AI and the later part where human touch is necessary, that should be done by a recruiter. And I think
Wonderful.
those hybrid models of operation would be the best productive ones.
You get to see a lot of resumes. You're already establishing a GCC center in India for one of the multinationals. So I would like to know, AI is inflating resumes, and the online profiles are also very glorified. So is the trust eroding in terms of the candidate information that we are getting from them? Or what should we do to get to safeguard the genuine assessment methods that we had earlier?
As it is said, the beauty lies in the eyes of the beholder. So I won't call it trust is eroding. I will say this is a paradigm shift in the market
Okay.
because AI was bound to come and people will definitely absorb and assimilate it, use it in their work. That will eventually see changes in the way employers use the system's assessment approach. So I won't tell it like trust is eroding, but I would say this is a call for checking the assessment systems again.
Okay.
Of course, CVs are inflated, and it was earlier as well. If you can recall, before even AI was there, if you would go to any organization who makes your CV, I mean, they would charge some money to you and they will tell you that, tell me everything about what you do. I know because I have done that before AI came in. Some people used to approach me because, I was an HR and people think that HR is the best person to go to get your CV crafted.
Yes.
So I would understand first everything about their process, everything they do. And then from there, I would craft their CV. Sometimes try to not manipulate but express it in a way that it looks like I have transferable skills which is required for the job. That is what even AI is doing. Anyway, you
Yeah.
won't be able to lie that if you have not done Java, you have not done Java. You cannot
Not done
write that
Java.
you have done Java. But if you have not led people, but if you have been an SME, you can still say that I have helped my team in achieving the target or I oversaw the process. So AI helps you do that. Anyway, if someone is lying, eventually he will get caught because, when you probe, when you ask questions, if he has not done that task, he won't be able to defend it. So my point is, when you say how do we defend it or how do we regulate it, how do we make sure that such anomalies, how do we track them? I think the assessment systems have to change a little. First of all, the employers or the hiring managers of employers, they must clearly know for each job what are the behavioral competencies they need. Like, do they need someone to operate in autonomy? Do they want someone to have handled ambiguity? uh, should they be a team player, or do they need someone who can do quick problem solving? So such type of competencies needs to be assessed properly, and there must be assessments. Say if it is coding, then there are actually many platforms today which can be used to take coding small exams. Like, I will give you a small assignment and then you prepare and I just check it, run it, and then I see how efficient are you in programming. Plus there are also ways in which you can assess cultural fitment of someone. So all this, you can also ask for work samples if they have already done something in past. Then they can give you like a glimpse of that, or maybe if there is something which they have built, then a link to it which you can go through and understand. Do they have capacity to build or not? I say if we examine properly, definitely there are ways in which you we can filter, like if someone is trying to exaggerate on their resume. But at the same time, you also cannot stop it. People will do it because those platforms are available.
We're dealing with a new generation now. So, how do you think? the employee experience matters now. Is it really relevant to the context when we have hybrid working, we have AI at one place? So does that actually matter now?
It does, and especially actually it matters more
Okay.
because when the war of talent has become so immense, new organizations are coming in and they are fighting for the same talent available in a geography. And at that moment, if you don't take care of your employees, then of course they will go somewhere else. I know people, especially in technology, are having like the moment they resign, they have 4 to 5 offers lined up. Someone getting 18 lakhs is holding an offer of 41 lakhs. Even if you have stayed in an organization for 10 years and you have seen only marginal growth, we used to completely tell them that it was your decisions to stay in an organization. Why should I pay for that? But now the situation has changed. We have to actually run behind people and please them.
I'd like to deep dive into this employee experience part.
Yeah,
So,
so
what matrix beyond surveys would be insightful and helpful for any manager?
So surveys actually is just scratching the surface. So surveys I know is definitely an important tool, but that is just scratching the surface. We should first of all understand what our organizational values are. If we say that we believe in innovation, or we believe in giving the best experience to customers, so we should translate these two values or opportunities for the employees also. Like, for example, if I say that I believe in innovation, I need to provide platforms to the employees where they can also voice their opinion. I fund them
Wow.
to do projects where they can come up with new patents or new research that will definitely add value to their profile, plus also make them satisfied. And nowadays, though, we see that people are running behind money, but it is not only money for which people stay in an organization. For past 5 years, in past 5-10 years, organizations have evolved a lot, where they have held the HR business partner, or there are specially employee experience cells or employee experience heads who manage this very closely. They speak with them regularly. They understand what are their inspirations, what do they want to do, define a career path for them. Such things are very, very important nowadays. Despite people not working always from office, this becomes a very dire necessity that employee experience has to be managed very well.
Wonderful. I think you've given us a lot of takeaways, and especially for the young budding managers. Tell us, what kind of the shift within the HR department that you will see in the coming days because of the AI tools. What do you think the market will look like for HR?
Oh.
Is it a fruitful career in 2026, 27, 28?
By the way, there are many departments, sub departments in HR. Like there is employee experience managing department, then there is recruiting, there are operations, there are business partners. Nowadays, we are having analytics as a different department,
Yeah,
in which
learning
we
and
have
separate
even
vertical.
HR data scientists. There are recruitment branding professionals as well. There are HR audits also, HR compliance as well. So,
Yeah.
one thing is for sure that the repetitive tasks and usage of data, this will be impacted by usage of AI tools. In future, very soon, the employers start using the agents where you can just teach them or program them that you do A activity first, B, C, D. Then even they would start doing predictive analytics and give us support in making decisions. So across all these departments, usage of data will become the key, because when machine comes in, it will help you capture data from all the centers,
Yes.
like from all the parameters, and it will do the number crunching. And whenever there is a data involved, there is a trend, and by observing trend you can actually make decisions. I would be able to understand whenever someone is going to complete 2 years, that is when people think about going out of the organization.
Yeah.
So what should I do at the end of second year, or maybe when they are nearing second year end, so that I can retain them. So such decisions people would be able to make by studying the trends of people exiting the organization,
Agree.
conducting the training need analysis, and finding out which talent across which department needs what training. We used to run a survey, and then that has to be shaped according to the type of talent you are, the audience is. But now AI can do that. It can administer it. It can also check for proctoring if everything is going well, and then analyze and give you just suggestions. You can take decisions basis there. So that will impact recruiting, training development, employee experience, whatnot. I mean, all the departments will be impacted by this. All
Yeah.
these departments should learn AI tools. They should do just a general search to understand what tools are prevalent in market, which are getting into these fields, and they should learn to use it, which will make them employable and top will
Wonderful.
have an edge over other people.
One last question before we wind up. What one advice you'd like to give to young, budding HR managers, HR professionals, and CHROs?
To the junior lot, like when you say who are just entering the stream, I would tell them that they should be first of all willing to learn everything. They should
Wonderful.
be adaptable, and they should have that propensity to collaborate with people. That is of course requirement of the hour. I mean, in HR anyway it was there because you deal with people, but
Yeah.
now it has even become inevitable because you are dealing with data coming from all across departments. Someone who can collaborate with different functions is only proven to be effective in an organization. So ability to collaborate, adaptable, and willingness to learn, this is very essential for the people who are entering the stream. For junior managers, manage your teams. I understand that people are working from home, but that does not mean that you don't need to speak with them. There is a organizational network analysis. I think managers should do that, by which they can understand the nature of the each individual and find out what their strengths are and accordingly place them into like better activities which suit their persona, and they have the traits to do well in that activity. For CHROs, I would suggest please research first your organization,
Yeah.
and do not fall in this game of FOMO, because everyone is just trying to, ride the bandwagon.
Thank you. Thanks, Saurav. Thanks a ton. To our listeners, if you enjoyed this insightful conversation, make sure to subscribe, leave a review, and share it with someone who cares about talent and leadership. Thank you for tuning in. Until next time, keep learning, keep growing, and keep leading with heart and strategy. Thanks a ton. Bye.